as the Christmas air travel rush is fast approaching. While many passengers look forward to flying during the most wonderful time of the year, others are dreading the anxiety that comes with their crippling fear of flight. And if you are one of them, Chief Transportation Correspondent and pilot Mackay Beeler is at Charlotte Douglas International Airport with help.
Are you a white-knuckled flyer? Does the thought of even boarding a plane make your palms sweat and your heart pound? Are you a member of the Mile High Nail Biters Club? Have no fear, Captain Ron is here.
The main thing that causes people to have fear of flying are twofold, really. One is crashing and dying, which seems obvious, but an even bigger problem is the fact that they feel trapped inside the airplane and they can't get out.
1 in 3 Americans reports being afraid or anxious of flying.
There's a sense of fear that comes over you that something may happen, even though you know nothing's going to happen. As long as the engines are on, you're okay.
What gives me sweaty palms about the flight, I definitely would think would be the takeoff and the landing.
If you experience a pounding heart, are nervous, restless, sweaty, and find it difficult to breathe at the airport, you may be a fearful flyer. Ron Nielsen is the founder of Fearless Flight, an internationally recognized fear of flying expert. Nielsen is an Air Force Academy graduate with 20,000 hours of military and commercial airline flying under his belt. This extensive experience aloft has exposed him to many nervous flyers. Helping soothe their nerves has become his passion project.
It's really an anxiety disorder. It has nothing to do with the airplane. We have a slogan that says, the pain in your brain is not from the plane. It's about the story that you're telling yourself.
The captain says the underlying cause of this all too common fear is
the feeling of not being in control.
The fear of flying, or aviophobia, adversely affects millions of people, limiting their careers and personal lives.
The way people overcome it is by being perseverant and patient with themselves. I have a threefold process I call my Fearless Flight method, and that is to 1, educate yourself, 2, learn how to disrupt or distract your thinking because that's what's causing the problem, and 3 is join a community of other people who are afraid to fly.
According to FlightFright.com, 2022 flying statistics report 40% of all people experience some form of anxiety when it comes to flying.
Something I can't really control, it's I just trust that the pilot will do what they need to do.
Captain Ron conducts online and in-person classes along with one-on-one guidance to help those white-knuckle flyers cope.
Any anxiety disorder is caused by what you think. Life isn't about what happens to us, it's about what you think about what happened to you.
Commercial airline incidents cause death in only once in 20 million flights. The last fatal U.S. airline crash was in 2009. Flight Fright stats say there was a 1 in a 3.37 billion chance of dying in a commercial plane crash in 2016. Since then, safety has improved significantly.
The next time you come to the airport, remember, you've survived the biggest risk that you'll have, and that was driving to the airport.
All right, if you have a sense of adventure, a really fun way to help tame your fear of flying, to help feel more in control, just go to one of the local flight schools here in the Charlotte area and take a flight lesson. At Charlotte Douglas International Airport, Mackay Beeler, Queen City News.